Right here.
Erika, you're here.
And Mom gets to stand next. Okay, these are just here and they're working, correct?
Yeah, they are already rolling.
Okay, how you guys doing?
And you guys are live streaming on the sheriff's website.
That's
huh?
right, we're live streaming. If we can shut that door there, shut both doors. Good morning, everybody. I'm sitting here with Erika today, and we're gonna make she's gonna do quite a bit of talking. She's basically what she has done. I'm gonna let her read her statement. It's a lengthy statement, but she's 15 years old, and she wants to be heard. And she's gonna tell you her story about school security or the lack of school security. And we all know with the shooting that happened in Florida, sometimes school boards move extremely slow. But I want to make sure that you all realize the police departments, we all work together. Hamilton, Fairfield, Westchester, Middletown, all the police departments, we all work together and we communicate. We've had a school shooting. She wants to be heard, and she has not been heard. That's the issue here, and I'm going to address that when she's finished. So if you'll give her attention, and go ahead.
My name is Erika Scott, and I stand here today with Sheriff Jones because he's the only one who reached out and answered my plea for help. I guess these days, if you're a state representative for the state of Ohio in my district, you don't have time to answer a cry from a 15-year-old student about the safety of my life, my friends, and my teachers' lives at school. My letter reached the school board too, and all I got was a, okay, I'll pass it on. Being honest, I'm not really sure what that means, which is frustrating considering since the recent shooting in Florida and our recent threats, I personally have not seen any of them at the high school walking our halls during the day or even taking the time to ask our opinions about school safety. I'm proud that my peers coordinated a respectful dedication to the 17 students yesterday. However, walking out to the football field for 17 minutes, or actually we had another threat yesterday, so it was a walk down to the gymnasium, won't take back the 17 lives lost in Florida. It won't prevent the next school shooting or threat, which I'm sure will happen again today somewhere, someplace. That one walkout is not going to get our school board to take action, and I'm not even sure what will. Sheriff Jones, however, within 24 hours of getting my letter, said, Erika, come see me, let's talk. And talk we did for 2 hours. No texting, tweeting, emailing, just face-to-face communication. I'm here today because I want you to know that we have a problem that is not going to go away overnight, a problem that no one really knows how to completely solve. Is it gun control, mental health, bullying, video games? Is it because someone doesn't feel loved or heard? As a 15-year-old student, I have so many questions. I have a stack of documents here that disclose public budgets and balance sheets for the state and local school districts, as well as a public salary record for many positions of the state of Ohio, including teacher salaries. I don't understand why these documents say what they say, and I especially don't know why my teachers and administrators get paid so little and now have even more pressure to also be in charge of school security. Then there are the administrators. More students, less resources. Contracts that get reviewed every 2 years. Pressure from the superintendents, state testing, state budgets being cut. It looks to me like more of a 1-800-RENT-IT administrator than really allowing them to take ownership and equity in their schools and students and build relationships and not have to worry about not having a job in 2 years and living in fear of failure. So let's talk about the students. As a student, it's not good enough anymore to go and learn and get an education, have a social life, learn how to be responsible, become an adult. We are numbered, and we have class ranks. We segment kids into honors, college prep, core, career tech, the 500 wing, music geeks, sport jocks, academic kids. There's smoking, drinking, sex, drugs, bullies, and social media, and jobs. Kids in my school who have to hold down 18 to 20 hours a week to cover expenses to drive, pay insurance, save for college, or even play a participation fee for their sports, or music, or to put food on their families' tables, and that's assuming they have a table to put on. Then there are our wonderful state exams that our state and country puts us through. More ranking, more numbers, and don't put faces with names, but target kids and place numbers that basically don't determine the type of person we are as humans, but tell us if we are a failure or if we pass. It's black and white. Win or lose, the billion-dollar question still is safety at our schools. I wish it was as easy as having the time to talk to every single kid that walks through the school door. I personally wish we could pray at school and have the time to talk with someone who you feel is having a bad day and try to understand what's going on versus getting in trouble with a tardy slip for being late to class. I wish more teachers could enjoy their jobs more and be less stressed, which would put less stress for the kids. But I'm sorry, none of that in today's world is realistic. So while we are working towards those goals, I'm asking the school board to spend some of your $60 million that you have at the beginning of the year and don't put more online reading programs for $300,000 that end up on a shelf. Invest in your own teachers and students in security for our buildings. It's better than nothing, which is what you're doing right now. When I go to an airport, I'm expected to walk through metal detectors. If given a choice to fly with those who have not and fly with those that have, I would gladly pick the plane of people who have been screened. If I go to a concert, I don't take offense to walk through a metal detector. I respect the process of the venue for my safety. I am very thankful that the Hamilton Police Department gives us one resource officer that we share with 2 other buildings. However, I'm also asking for our school board to give us more, and to also not play our police department against our sheriff's department, making one seem better than the other, because at the end of the day, they both serve our community and protect our families, and care more about us than I sometimes feel you do. If you, as a school board, have a meeting or a special meeting about security at our schools, I would like to hope that everyone in our city and county is present, including student representatives, to keep things real, because at the end of the day, police, sheriff, and fire are all early responders in Butler County and the city of Hamilton. Let's talk facts. Fact, from 2000 to 2018, there have been 146 school shootings, 158 deaths, and 246 injuries. Fact, since the Florida shooting this year, there have been 20 additional threats, and 8 of them since yesterday have been at Butler County. Fact, I personally have left school in the middle of the day, walked to my friend's car, and carried in with a friend a big backpack, a different one from which I had brought into the school, and was let into the school by a paraprofessional. Fact, we have had non-Hamilton High students walk into our school and sign in as a student during the middle of the day and not be caught or found until 15 minutes after being in the building. Fact, we have a human resource issues with teachers and administrators who no longer work at Hamilton High School and or the district that could be angry and hold a grudge and act out. Fact, no one wants to admit we have a problem or spend the money to fix it. Fact, there are so many more of these situations that we would need another press conference to review them all. Fact, there will be some people not happy with me for bringing this into light, but I can't live life afraid of speaking the truth or sitting back and allowing more lives to be lost. I have a voice and I'm not afraid to use it. So if you continue to take your time, I will continue to keep things real and will continue to report the issues that arise and occur. And please let me make one thing clear. Media and social media companies use us to make billions of dollars. So it's time that media and social media companies also give back to the local communities and their local schools and don't just use us to report the negative news. Care enough to report the positive and maybe even take your multi-billion-dollar ad budget and add to our multi-billion-dollar school corporation budget, and let's pay teachers more, hire more teachers, pay local law enforcement so we have enough resources to build up our school security so one day my kids and my grandkids really understand what it means to live in a country that is not about politics and public political budgets, but really cares about us as human beings and a society that needs more love, better education, and more faith back inside those brick walls. One last thing, let it be known that I love Hamilton, Ohio. I love the families that are here and the businesses that we have, and I love our schools and our teachers and our administrators so much. I wish time could stop on most days, but stop for the right reasons. I don't want any of them to die in a school shooting. I don't want to have to fear to come to school anymore. I don't want to be told I have to look in the eyes of my classmates and determine if they're just having a bad day or a target for the next one. I want to thank my family, my friends, my teachers for supporting me and understanding that what I have done here today. I want to thank Sheriff Jones and Deputy Craig Mills for caring about our community, our schools, our teachers, our administrators, and our students. Let's please together as a community be the role model of every public school district in America and build the right partnerships to make Hamilton and Ohio and every single school in America, private or public, safe again. When we all come together, leave our egos at the door, and really take action, not just talk words, we can save lives. Thank you for your time.
Now what I want to do is add a couple things. First of all, for her to come forward, I'm going to tell the school administration and the school board, I do not expect any retaliation for her to come forward and voice her opinion today. If they do, they're going to have to answer to me. And I believe that we should listen to every student when they have a complaint or if they have an issue. Here's what we have at issue here. A state representative was sent this letter, if I'm correct. No response. A school board member was sent this letter. No response. Wonder if she had some information that was very crucial to a school shooter. Someone should have talked to her. Someone should have talked to her. I got the letter. I talked to her immediately. The Hamilton police, all the police departments we work extremely well with. We reached out to the Hamilton police and we're on the same team. One of the best police departments there is in the country. This isn't a Hamilton police issue. This is a school board issue. And when you have these issues, we got to address them. We're addressing ours. We've had a school shooting. We listened to the students. They should have answered her. They should have talked to her because she's a student. When you look at all the last shootings, what did you have? Everybody said somebody knew something. The FBI knew something. The police department knew something. They weren't communicating. This is another situation where there's no communications. We've got to listen to the students. I've never met her before this, but as you can tell, she's very articulate. She works up front in one of the main offices, and I expect her to continue to work there. She should not be punished for what she says today. Now we'll take any questions. I wouldn't allow her to do this in this building unless her mother was here. I gave them the weekend to make sure this was okay. But as you can tell, she doesn't appear to be afraid of the cameras and to speak her mind. So keep in mind when you ask questions that she's 15-year-old going on 25. And you could tell that by the way she read that. It was very articulate, and she read extremely well, and she has a mission. My mission today is shame on those people that did not respond to this. Shame on them. And this could have been another situation where she has information. So I'll take the questions for her at this point if you have any questions.
What grade are you in? What school are you in?
I go to Hamilton High School and I'm a sophomore.
Do you feel you're around other students? Do you feel your peers agree with you?
I do. I feel like my peers agree. Yeah.
Any other questions?
How does it feel when you get ignored by the school board and various places that you try to get your message across?
It feels like we're not getting our opinions out there. And I feel like students, we witness everything that really goes on in the schools. And we should be the ones that are getting asked the questions because we know what goes on, rather than they know what they're told.
Can you kind of pick up your papers there and tell me what those are and who you send them to there?
Yeah. This paper is, you see how thick that is. That is all the school shootings from 1764 up until March 7th, 2018. These are state salaries.
She's not a normal 15-year-old. I mean, I wouldn't want her on my case. But she's done all this gathering of information herself, and I didn't know exactly what she was going to say, so I'm very impressed. This is all the school boards. You need to pay attention to your students, and a walkout is one thing. Walking out to the flagpole and having a good day out of school, the threats still go. She's actually in the school. Her mother lives this. I made sure that they had a weekend before they wanted to make sure they've done this. But again, 2 individuals did not respond, and I assume you have copies of the letters you sent them
Yeah, I do.
and the dates?
Yes.
Okay. And that'll all be available to everybody here today.
Yep.
Hopefully you go ask them what they're doing. Why didn't they respond? I'm sure they'll respond today, and I'm sure they will, under the gun. Any other questions? That ends the news conference at this time. Thanks everybody for coming. Realize that we're still on live feed in the back, live streaming, so keep that in mind. And does anybody need any photographs up front before we leave? We all good? That door right there. Good job. Excellent.
Thank you.
Proud of
Thank you
you.
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That takes